This is meant for you if you're someone who has struggled with putting yourself before others. If you're someone who is tired of sidelining their potential for people who feel worse about themselves when they see you shining. These days, it can be hard to tell who truly wants to see us win. But today, I want to provide you a higher level of discernment so you can decide who deserves to have access to your inner circle and who loses access to the most valuable parts of who you are. Your season of thriving is here for you to claim, and it's about time you realize that. I'm Justin Trinity, and welcome to Midnight Sanctuary, a home created for who we are and who we're becoming. Now, let's begin. It's one of the worst feelings in the world when you're treated as if you're not accepted. Especially when you want to express your favorite aspects of who you are, or you're in a phase of exploring who you're becoming. I remember times in my life when I had to edit who I was in order to fit in. Times in my life when I felt like I had to be a caricature of myself because that was the only version of myself that was digestible for certain people. A couple of years ago, I was listening to Brene Brown on the School of Greatness podcast, and she had said something that has stuck with me ever since.
I think that's the thing, that I feel like I belong everywhere I go. No matter where it is or who I'm with, as long as I never betray myself. And the minute I become who you want me to be in order to fit in and make sure people like me, is the moment I no longer belong anywhere.
What she said truly encapsulated something for me. It helped me to recognize that one of the greatest senses of home is the home we cultivate within ourselves. When you are so deeply rooted within who you are as a person, when your sense of self is built upon a strong foundation, then there is no one outside of you who could ever take away your sense of belonging. In a way, the only one who could truly make us feel like we don't belong is ourselves. People can try to convince us to abandon our sense of belonging, but ultimately it is us who chooses to decide if we betray ourselves or not. So I'll ask you, where are you abandoning yourself in order to fit in? Which people make you feel like you're being too much when in actuality, you're simply being more you? If being fully yourself was costing you the relationship that you have with someone else, then the relationship was costing you yourself. Now, if history can teach us one thing, it's that compatibility is never static. It's conditional on evolution, meaning who we are as individuals, as a society, and as a collective species is always in a state of change. And that directly influences the dynamics of our relationships. For some, that evolution or change happens a lot faster than others. And while there are many factors at play, the most important ones are someone's openness and willingness to change. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to point out what's obviously apparent, which is most people in the world aren't open or willing to change to begin with. With that being the case, for people like us, that means that we'll inevitably come across people who will react in a number of ways. What this may look like is they may guilt you by saying, "It must be nice to think you're better than everyone," or "You don't care anymore." They may minimize you by saying, "It's not that deep," or "You've changed." Or they may say something crazy like, "You forgot where you came from," like your growth is a personal attack on the past you once shared together. But it's incredibly crucial that we see their projections for what they truly are, which are their subconscious attempts at relieving their sense of identity from feeling challenged. It's their attempt to self-soothe, to keep their sense of reality from shattering. It's their instinctual reaction to protect themselves from having to face a fear of irrelevance. Or maybe they simply are just afraid to change. See, people aren't reacting to your growth necessarily. They're reacting to what your growth reflects back to them. But it's up to you to remain steady in your self-belief. It's up to you to stay devoted to your path, even if it means temporarily walking alone. Now, this is one of those things that's easier said than done. But if you care about discovering what you're truly capable of, then it's absolutely necessary. And it's to accept that you're not responsible for managing other people's emotional ceilings. You're not responsible for someone's refusal to change. You're not responsible for people who repeat the same cycles over and over again. And you're not meant to sacrifice your future experiences for the past. If you have a voice in the back of your mind that whispers it's time to move forward, then it's your responsibility to listen to it. The right people will elevate with you. The right people will inspire you. They will support you. The people who are meant for you will celebrate your growth and will challenge themselves to do the same. It's as simple as that. We spend so much time trying to convince or negotiate with people who take our growth as a personal attack that we don't realize we're doing exactly what they're wanting, which is not moving forward in our lives. If keeping the peace means sacrificing your future, then you're declaring war on yourself. It's time to realize that your growth is no longer a negotiation. That's because your relationship with your life path, with the universe, with God, that is uniquely your own. How God speaks and leads one individual is different than how God speaks and leads another. No one knows your calling and what feels right for you better than you do. No one has the same exact connection and conversations with God as you do. What you feel called to is meant for you. Anything else is just noise. Your future won't wait forever, so you shouldn't either. Now, in order to move forward, we first need to be brutally honest with ourselves, even if the truth hurts. We never want to assume that someone who's close to us doesn't want to see us succeed in life. We never want to assume that some of the people we care for don't really care for us. But during moments that have the potential to shape our entire futures, it's important to know who's truly at our side and who simply tolerates us at our current level. The thing about growth that most people don't realize is that it doesn't inherently create conflict. It simply reveals the truth. It reveals which people only see you as the version they've created in their minds, which people have you on some sort of pedestal, or maybe who sees you as beneath them. It reveals which people feel safer when you doubt yourself. It reveals where love was conditional. And lastly, it reveals what needs to absolutely be released from your life. So ask yourself, who and what is needing to be released? What do you need to let go of so you can create the space needed for your future possibilities? And are you willing to do what it takes to change your life for the better? Or are you simply just going to allow time to run out? I know this all seems daunting, but I truly believe that you can do this. I believe that you have the awareness, the strength, the courage, the capabilities to accomplish anything you truly put your mind to. I believe that you have the capacity to endure the amount of pain necessary to achieve your goals. It won't always be pain. It won't always be suffering. There won't always be, these long periods of confusion or uncertainty, but you have to be willing to take the first step. You have to be willing to challenge the current circumstances of your present life. No one is worth the resentment you'll feel if you don't take a chance on yourself. No one has to live with those consequences. To them, they can just take. They can just not change. They can keep you small, but you're the one who's keeping yourself there. The more you focus on people who aren't uplifting you and themselves, the more you are abandoning yourself. So if your growth reveals that they're causing you more harm than good, then you know what to do. This is your one life, your one chance to truly see what you're capable of. It's your time to move. forward. Please share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Thank you for spending time with me. Stay awake, stay sovereign, and stay becoming.